It's a wonderful day to have you with us here at the Regent by Shannon. I'm out on our beautiful terrace that was inspired by the Venetian, as well as our beautiful staircase that was inspired by the Don Cesar. Our team went out and they found all these amazing little details that made this place so wonderful and special, and they put them all together so that you can come in and have a wonderful event here that was well thought through from the very beginning of the creation of it. We're also going to talk to Christina at Beauty Contour Studios, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how she does those little details, and she helps brides look beautiful and wonderful in their day, thinking of the hair, the makeup, and the nails, and the whole 9 yards, because she likes her job in a way that she can go in, she can put people together, and she can make that dream of that special day for them perfect. And we're also going to talk to her and her biographer, who are doing a television show right now to follow these brides to their wonderful, beautiful time at the altar. It's just a great day here at the Regent, and I'm so glad that you've come to join us as we discover all these wonderful, beautiful little details today. The details are important. We can think of those especially at a wedding because every little detail matters. That bride has thought about that day since she was a child. She's thought about what she wanted on that day, who she wanted to be there on that day, what she was wearing that day, the way her hair was going to be. Every little detail is thought of. And as she goes through that plan, it takes sometimes months, even years, to get the perfect setting for her perfect day. And everything was done with love and thought and just a dream in her heart. And it's important to have those dreams and to think those little details through. You know, we do that in everyday life. We have to think about all the details and the pieces and parts, but we have to be careful not to get stuck on the small details and get stuck on all the little things that maybe aren't working right, because there's a bigger picture. But also, we have to not just go through our life and skip out on all those small little details either. Know when they're important. Know when to skip over them so that you can get to the big picture, and don't let them stop you from your dreams and aspirations. Just like that bride, when she thinks of that perfect peony or that perfect rose that has to be in her bouquet, and the brooch that her grandma wore on her special day has to be perfectly pinned on that handle. There's just all these little thoughts and pieces that come from the heart. Every little piece has to attach somewhere, otherwise they're not that important. So you need to start weeding them out in your life. Is it something that's going to stop you? Is it something that's going to change the way things go? Is it important that it's different? If it's not that important, if it's not attached to the heart, if it doesn't change something in a drastically amazing way, then let it go. Don't worry about tomorrow and let it steal your today. We get so bogged down in the details sometimes that we forget that life is happening around us. We have tunnel vision and we start staring at the little details that are distracting us from the big picture of life. We have to understand how to handle the little details. The ones that are important, the ones that are not so important, and the things that can change things and the things that can't. We often get stuck on these places in our life because we're so afraid that that small turn can change something big in our life in the wrong way. But the thing is, if we don't ever turn, we don't ever go one way or the other, then we never find out. So many people are stuck in a place because of the little details, and they've never reached their dreams, and all it is this little tiny pebble in their shoe. You need to stop, sit down, evaluate, look at your surroundings, and take the pebble out of your shoe. Because the journey has got to still go on for you to make it to the places that was made for you so that you can reach your dreams and you can be who you've aspired to be. It's important for us to know the little details in everyday life. The giggle of a kid, the smile on a baby's face, the touch of your grandmother's hand, because those days are numbered. People grow up and people pass away. So if we got bogged down in the mundane, just craziness of life, we miss those small little things. See, like I said, it's important to evaluate what small things are important and what small things aren't. Because the big picture of life is made of little small details. It's just like an artist when they paint a picture. You come in, you see the whole picture. But in their mind, they saw the lines of the tree. They saw the waves of the river coming through. They saw the peaks and the little tiny rock pieces of every mountain in their picture. The artist knows every tiny little detail in that picture because they put it there and they thought of it. And as they were putting the brush to the canvas, every piece was brushed with an intention inside of them. It's so important for us to understand what our big picture is so that we know what little details are important. That little tiny stone may not be important, or it may be the one thing that was thrown and was skipping across the lake. So understand what's the big things that are important, what are the small things important, and start just shuffling the deck a little bit. Refocus. If you can't figure it out, just refocus on everything. Take a moment, sit down, get that pebble out of your shoe. Understand that we are going to something greater in our life and we're moving forward. Because if you're still here, there's still purpose for you. And it may not be exactly what's happening right now, but don't get stuck there. Move forward. Go to the new place, to the things that are on the journey ahead of you. Because, sometimes we don't know what's happening. We don't know what the big picture is. We don't get to see the whole canvas. Sometimes it's like one of those little games that kids have where you only see the corner of something and you've got to try to guess what the big picture is. It's funny how I think God does that for us sometimes, because if we saw the whole thing, we'd be overwhelmed. So don't get overwhelmed by not being able to see the big picture, but also breathe when you do, because it's important. Because if you've been shown the whole thing, that means that you don't have to guess as much and you get to walk forward with knowledge. But if you only see a little tiny piece, don't let that fear change you, hold you back, or tear you down. It's important to understand what's the big things in our life that we have to focus on and the small things, because all of those things together make us whole. And it takes all those pieces and parts to do it.
Well, I'm extremely excited to be here today at Contour Salon and Studio. Today I have a very special guest with me, and that's none other than the CEO and founder, Christina. Christina, thank you so much for opening the doors to have ourselves, our viewers all together, and get to know a little bit about you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I love having you in here.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's so local, very close to home, I know for you. And there's a lot of surprises and details about this place that make it special, not just to you, but to all of your clients and your vendors. So before we get a little bit more carried away with how amazing this place is, tell me a little bit about you and your story. And there's a lot about you that I know is going to connect to a lot of our viewers, so I'm excited to learn more.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I've been open about 18 months. I opened 3 weeks after I had my daughter. So kind of my goal, my vision was to be able to continue to be a working mom and be close to home, to work around my kids' schedules, picking them up from school, breastfeeding, all of that new mom stuff. I was not planning to have another child. I have an 11-year-old and the 18-month-old. So it was very unexpected, and I was like, okay, now how do I adapt? How do I continue to forge my career and be a good mom, really?
No, and that's a lot of hats that you have to wear, because not only are you a mom to not just one but two little girls, but how do you, and I love it, how do you continue being the perfect mom and a working mom as well? And that's, I think, a little intimidating for some other women who they want to reach out for their dreams and their goals, but they're scared because they don't want to sacrifice one thing for the other as well. And I'm sure that was a difficult decision for you too. But
it was.
Tell me a little bit about how you came to that decision. What motivates you?
Yeah, so I was working for another company for years, about 8 years, and I had gotten to the point with them where I was just already at the top. So there's no more moving up for me, and I was working so hard to build another person's company. And I was just kind of like, why am I doing all of this so hard for someone else when I could just be doing it for me, my family, show my girls that it can be done.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it was an easy decision, honestly. It was just, as soon as I went on maternity leave, like, okay, now I got to find a space to work out of. We started that journey. It was really kind of, I had a lot of requirements. I had to be close to home. I had to have multiple rooms so I can have employees and girls. My vision eventually would be to franchise. So
awesome. I think that's great.
Thank you.
Well, I think it really will be easy for you to get to that level, just mainly because you are preaching or living what you preach, and it's following your dreams, not allowing certain obstacles to slow you down or stop
and
you,
empowering
and
other women. Really, that's That's my goal.
Follow your dream, and you know, things get tough, but when it does, you can either look at the situation and just keep going with your normal routine, or challenge the status quo, challenge it. And I think that that's what you did beautifully, and it's grown into something so amazing that your daughters are going to be able to admire and be like, well, if mommy did it, I have to do it, which is amazing. And tell me a little bit of what you do here. I mean, there's so many different aspects to what you do. It's, and you don't just specialize on hair or on lashes. Explain to us a little bit more about what you do.
So my goal is that when you have a special event coming up, you can come here as like a one-stop shop.
Awesome.
So the months leading up until your wedding or your quince or whatever special event you're doing, you can be getting your skin ready with facial, skincare, permanent makeup, lash extensions.
Wow.
And then day of, we actually go on location. So anything that is in salon, we can bring out to the location.
Okay, that's perfect.
So nails, spray tanning, hair, makeup.
So you do that here, but then you can also do that at a different location.
Yes, yep, we can bring that to you.
Okay, so that's perfect. And I mean, we're speaking truth. I could hear your girls in the back, so that's
my girls are here
phenomenal.
today. I have a room at my salon for my girls.
But no, I think that's amazing. I think in other cases that might be a little, hey, you know, we could hear them, but that's okay. It speaks to who you are and your values, and you definitely didn't settle. You knew what you wanted and you chased it, and it's possible to make it. It requires work.
So much work. It's a lot of hard work, but it's so worth it.
It is, and it's
so worth
making
it.
that decision that you're going to follow your dreams and you're going to be the best mom, and I admire you for that as well.
Thank you.
And I know you have a big vision for moving forward. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and using your passion to carry that out.
Yeah, so I am a reality TV junkie. That's my guilty pleasure. Honestly.
We all have something.
And I feel like there's so much on reality TV it's drama, and yes, that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see is more women empowering each other, and not necessarily tearing each other down. This whole first year of growth has really been other women coming around me, empowering me, encouraging me. You have encouraged me. I know we've social media friends for like a couple years now. But things like that really mean so much to me, and it really, I want to give that back.
I love it.
So I've been working with a friend of mine. He's a videographer, and we're coming up with a pilot for a reality show about entrepreneurs and just the struggle that comes with it, because it's literally every day is a new challenge. There's highs and there's lows. And I know for me, I would like to help people not make the same mistakes that I have made. So if you can watch me do those mistakes, overcome them, how I, dealt with them, so that other people in the industry or entrepreneurs
can learn from that and grow from that. And I think creating that partnership is amazing. And how exciting is that you took that upon yourself? I mean, you saw a need and you filled that need in creating it and starting it. If someone else wasn't doing it, well, then you're going to do it yourself, which I think is very empowering and a very determined move too. So I'm excited to continue seeing that grow. And I know there's so many of our viewers that have also been in similar struggles with you, and whether you've decided to keep going and chasing those dreams, or whether you just feel a little scared to move forward, you're not alone. There's amazing people like you. There's amazing people like us where, there's situations that arise, but we keep moving forward and we don't allow those to stop, and creating that atmosphere where within our very own community there's so much talent and there's so much fear. So it's getting together so we can kick out the fear and show off our talent. Not only will
and know that you have people supporting you. And so if you do, when there are mistakes and there are those bad days, it's like, it's all right. I got this community behind me, and they got my back.
Exactly, and I love it. And I think, maybe we can't change the world, all at once like the superheroes can, but if we can change just one person's world, that's more than enough for us. And I think that we've been able to do that over the last couple months. So seeing you grow and seeing how all of this has started with just one dream and one little ounce of determination is so inspiring. And thank you so much for having us here. I know we have a special guest coming in, your videographer as well, to talk to us a little bit more. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Thanks.
Well, we're back, and as promised, I want to introduce to you the videographer that Christina has been working with, Ed Bekanowski with ME Videography. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's been good to be here.
It's amazing to see the partnerships that have developed within the community too. So, but more than anything, I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you and your business and with our viewers. So tell me a little bit about ME Videography.
So I've been in business for going on 8 years now. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and when she was born, it was kind of time for a career change. I decided I wanted to I grew up in construction, and I've always done video as a kind of a back burner project. I've made a lot of short films and things like that.
Awesome.
But decided to make it a career and kind of give my daughter a legacy, something I can pass on to her. So
Wow.
that essentially is what kicked it off. Went through film school, started doing little short films, and built a small production company.
Yeah.
Ended up doing weddings. I've been doing about 30 weddings a year at this point.
Wow.
Kind of trying to transition lately more into documenting people rather than the wedding days, and that's how I ended up getting up with Christina. Just
Okay.
kind of, she told me about her vision, and it made a lot of sense to me. And I also having a daughter, I totally am all about empowering women entrepreneurs, and I think let's get this stuff happening.
Let's do
so,
it.
Yeah, it just made a lot of sense.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think there's beauty in when people come together and help fill each other's needs with our skill sets.
Right.
And I think just in the short time that I've spoken with you, and I know our viewers will say the same thing, it's obvious that you're very passionate, and it comes down to your family, your daughter. How amazing is that you use the word legacy, and I think part of what we're trying to do at the Regent and through our outreach on social media and just connecting is creating a legacy for people in our own community. So it's not just about trying to change the entire world. It's very hard, but it's
Right.
about changing at least one person at a time altogether, and the impact is amazing, and I think you're doing that beautifully. So you're focusing a lot on documenting people, which is what Christina's trying to do with our beautiful women entrepreneurs. But you're not a woman yourself. Your hair looks great, but you're very passionate about it. Now, I know you probably are not just focusing in on just women. You cover a lot of other things. Are there anything that you prefer to specialize in? Or your future vision of where you want to grow your company to?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, like I said, focusing on people. I've done a lot of portrait work, and I admire portrait photographers a lot. And there's not really a huge market for that in the video realm right now. So I think where this project with Christine is definitely going in one direction, and I'm super excited about it. But as far as like a smaller, I don't know that it's necessarily smaller. It's just as far as where my company's vision right now is going. It's going to be more like a kind of doing portrait videography essentially.
Okay.
So we're going to bring people in and have them basically do a little portrait session with us and talk a little bit about their story and their lives. And really, I can talk about it for a long time, but I'll have information on the website and all of that.
Yeah,
so.
well, that was going to be my next question. That's a beautiful take on what you do. I never heard of anything like that, and I think that's beautiful. So where can I or my viewers find out where to reach you and contact you for stuff like that?
So ME Videography would be the best way to contact me. I've got all my contact information on there. It's MEVIDEOGRAPHY. Sometimes people have a hard time with videography, and
It is what it is. We'll have it down below.
All right, perfect. So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so I appreciate you being a part of this. It's amazing to see everything that you're doing, and I just appreciate your work within the community as well. It takes time, but I know right now it seems like your biggest priority is your daughter and leaving a legacy for her to follow. So I think she's going to be very proud of the father she is very proud of the father she has, and I just can't wait to see how she continues growing and following in your footsteps as well. So thank you again, Ed, for being a part of this. We're excited to keep introducing you to a little bit more of what he has to offer, what we're working here at the Regent and with Christina. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with a little bit more. There's so much more that we can continue learning, but I'm really more excited to share a way that we want to connect with you in the community. And now that we have Christina and Ed together, I'm excited to really just show you the amount of teamwork that's going to go into this. And I know, Christina, you talked to me a little bit about your passion and the reason why you love the reality show, but a different spin on things. You know, it's not all about the hardcore drama, but we as normal humans, you know, we go through daily drama and it can be reflected in different ways. So you really faced yourself with a difficult situation. You had your second daughter and you wanted to chase your dreams and stop making other people's dreams come true, which is always a good thing. But sometimes you have that fire, you have to chase it. And, you know, share with me a little bit about how you want to capture that and connect it with the women that are watching us today.
Yeah, so my vision for the show is kind of just to give a manual or a guideline of, you know, as a new small business owner, entrepreneur, things that can go right and things that can go wrong, and just how to overcome that. Because I could, you know, there are daily stories where I'm like, oh, you know, why did I do this, or why did that happen? Oh, that was great, you know, I love the way that made me feel, whatever. So if I can kind of play that out on for other people without them having to do those same mistakes.
I think that's amazing too. And it's not just taking a little bit about your history and story, but having a conversation with other women just like you, just like us, who face themselves with that situation. So I love that you can have that conversation with our viewers, and we could share that with the greater public. You know, it's all about teamwork, and I know a lot of your client base right now is females too, but I think having that double team where we have an amazing female entrepreneur and a male entrepreneur, we could really blend that. We all struggle. One is not greater than the other. It's just we get through it together. So I love that you have that vision and you wanted to share it, and that goes for you as well that are watching us on television, on social media, is you have that story. We know it's in the community. Share that with us, and we can share that together with the community so that we create an atmosphere where we really are all together. And Ed, I know you have great experience in not just videography, but producing. There's a lot that goes into it than just, you know, capturing a moment on video. Can you tell us a little bit more about all the work that goes into this?
Oh, it's endless, you know, but especially with something like this. Yeah, well, it's easy with Christina.
You're good at making me feel comfortable and
I mean, I think that's part of it for sure. Just getting into that conversation mode and making people feel comfortable. And I think one of my strongest points is that, like, basically just kind of being there, not being intrusive, not. I don't really want someone to put on that fake smile and pretend like they're doing something. I enjoy capturing the true individual.
In my element.
And like I said, you know, working with Christine has been great because she is I don't know, maybe it's just our connection, or maybe it's that she just is a very comfortable person to be around. I don't know, but either way, you know, it's been a great experience.
It's a gift to have that ability so that others can feel comfortable with you too.
And the way that we connected, you know, we were at a bridal show. I think I just kind of told you my idea. I've had this idea for about a year, and I've just been slowly, working on it, making the right connections. And I told him about it, and he was just like, that's cool. I like that idea. I could get behind that. So we just, started shooting a couple things together, and it's been fun.
It's important to make the proper connections too.
Oh,
sometimes we feel like we're in an island and we're by ourselves and we're the only ones that struggle. But in reality, there are other people, and it's not until you make those connections, like at a bridal show. Bridal shows are great at making connections, which is just, it's amazing. Not only do you meet other people, other brides, but you meet other vendors who are also small vendors, small businesses, just trying to not get rich quick, but really give a living to their families. And you have 2 daughters. You have a beautiful daughter, which I think all 3 of them are here today waiting for us. But it's about creating a legacy, like you said earlier, is it's not just us. There's other people watching us, but more importantly, our children that are watching us. So it's our decisions and what we decide to do that really will make an impact in their lives and in the community as well. So it's not just making sure that we have no sweat over our eyes and capturing when we're crying, but there's a little bit that happens behind the scenes as well, from editing and audio and stuff, and that can take multiple hours at a time. Can you tell me a little bit about, does that ever make you frustrated, or does your passion, really get you through the dark days?
It's a good thing I've got some passion for it. I would say there's a lot of frustrating times. Like I said, sometimes shoot days are a lot of fun because we're getting to capture what's going on. You still have you have to make sure your camera's rolling, you've got clean audio, you've got to get your angles and lighting and all that stuff to the best you can when you're working at something as fast-paced as reality or a wedding or something like that. But for me, it's kind of that's where I like to be. That's where I enjoy. I guess I like the pressure. I like the challenge.
Exactly.
So the editing side, it's a little tedious, but it does pay off when it's all done. When you see a finished project and you can look back at it, and especially I've done plenty of weddings, and hearing from some of the brides and them telling me how they're watching their video makes them cry, and how they've watched it 25 times in the last week. You're just like, wow, that's cool that I was able to be
Really,
part
and
of
we do
that.
this all for our clients.
Yeah.
This is really for them, for you.
Right.
Exactly.
It's fun for us. It's our careers. It's what we love and what we chose. But it's for you and your special day and making you feel
I love
good.
it. And that's the beautiful thing about when you don't settle. When you know what you want, you go after it. You have your passion and your purpose behind it, and that pushes you forward. And I think I love the most that the Regent allows us to be this space that connects everyone together. It's not just this beautiful fancy building, or where a storm shelter where people go when there's no other hope. It's a place that we create hope so that other people can come together and be the beacon for you're not alone. There's other people in this community ready to help and serve you. So thank you guys so much for sharing that information with us. There's so much that's happening behind the scenes. There's so much that's happening in our community that's really good. And we know that you're not the only one who struggles. We know that you have your own amazing story, and we really encourage you to reach out to us. Find us on social media, find us on our website, and share that story with you. Or maybe you know someone who has an inspiring story that chose not to give up in the face of adversity. And I think in today's day and age, it's time to share that. It's time to share that you are not alone. There's a whole group of people that are willing to create the space for you to share your story, and you never know, your life story might be someone else's survival guide. So share that with us. There's people who are here willing to support you. At the Regent, we're all about connecting the community. At Contour Salon and Studio, we're here about making those connections and just sharing that with the world through Ed and through what we're doing at the Regent as well. So reach out to us. We encourage you to share this video on television with your friends. Let them know that where we're going to be on Saturday mornings on MOR TV, and on social media. Share it with your friends and family. We can change the world. We can change our community just one person at a time. Christina, Ed, thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm Christy Beth, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining me today here at the Regent. It's awesome to be able to experience some of those amazing little details that make a day wonderful for a bride. And we can do that for you as well. Those small little details here, or these vendors can do them for you other places. It's awesome to be able to have those as resources for your special day. And remember, come see us again next time here at the Regent by Shannon.